Hello.
Hello.
I think we're live. Hello, everyone. How's it going? Welcome to the Rendezvous Hour Podcast with our awesome special guests. With the flow.
Hi.
And Mages Chaser.
Hello.
I was going to introduce you first, but I thought I'm going to pronounce your name wrong. I need a few more.
Oh, yeah. You were looking at it, just putting it through your brain.
My brain was working. So, how is everyone?
I'm very good. How are you?
I'm not too bad. Karina?
I am good. Busy. It's a busy week, Gamescom. But other than that, I'm doing really well.
Oh, yeah. Gamescom's coming up. I guess we have to talk about it a little bit. What are you looking forward to at Gamescom? And are you doing anything for it?
Yeah. Oh, I am going on from Thursday, but for a change, I'm not doing work specifically there. I've actually gone as a personal trip, but I will be popping by the booths of some of my clients that I'm working with. So I have a few people there. Fireshine has got Tales for Seikyu, and I believe they've got Dusk Fade and some booths over there. And yeah, so I'm looking forward to that.
Sounds awesome. And Flo?
I'm not really myself. So Martijn and Lana. Martijn's the director and co-founder of Snapping Click, and then Lana is our producer. They're both there for the week having various meetings. So I'm actually not involved with it, which normally when I'm in the UK, I'm like every single in-person thing I'm involved with, but not so much here. However, I am actually I'm keeping my eyes peeled for some Toronto gaming things going on so I can get involved with that. But yeah, it's weird being away and not going.
Oh yeah, definitely got to hit that up. So Martijn and that are there just organising future things for future games and clients and that, and don't actually have a booth there.
Yeah, no, we don't have a booth. They're just sort of, representing SFC. They've got a few meetings booked with potential partners. But yeah, sounds good.
Yeah, exciting, because if I know Martijn, he's always got about 10 games on the go, or
thinking
about one. Yeah,
so, for sure.
Yeah, any particular announcements that you're hoping for, or things that we already know about that are coming?
Not for me. I haven't been paying attention to it, to be honest.
I think there's a few things that's already been announced that's going to be there. I can't remember them at the top of my head now, but I believe maybe is there something to do with Resident Evil?
Oh, yeah.
I think it's not a game that I play personally, but I absolutely love the lore and the gameplay of it. So I always watch people around me that enjoy playing it, play it, or I'll watch Let's Plays and streams. But yeah, I think that's one of the highlights. But I'm also excited to see just those news bomb drops, the wild things that you just didn't know were coming, the crazy sequels that perhaps someone's kept under wraps really tightly, because it's one of those events that's just aimed to not shock you, but like awe you with all of its content. There's going to be a lot of trailers, though, I think, especially for the pre-show.
Yeah, I'm kind of hoping for that one more thing moment as we usually get. But
yeah.
Yeah, you never know if Jeff wants to save everything for the Video Game Awards at the end of the year.
Yeah.
And with so many games coming out in the next couple of months, you don't know if developers will actually want to announce anything now because it's just so populated.
Yeah. It's a very news heavy week. It's quite dense. It's hard to stand out, for example. So, yeah. Oh, I've just got that opening night live up now. It's Resident Evil Requiem, Ghost of, is it Torhei? Yortai. Silent Hill, Outer Worlds 2, World of Warcraft Midnight, Ninja Gaiden, Fallout, Call of Duty Black Ops 7 is like part of the opening night live. So that'll be a lot already.
I'm going to test Flo's poker face here. Awkward face.
Soon.
Good try.
We've got really excited. It's not going to be announced at GameCon, as far as I'm aware. But we have a really exciting announcement, literally like within the next week, maybe. I'm so excited. In fact, I think it will be next week that we announce it.
So Martine isn't going to walk on stage and surprise everyone.
Not that I know of. Maybe, you never know. But no, they won't be announced there. But it is an announcement soon, and it's like huge and so exciting.
Nice.
And it's been taking up all of my time.
So those games that you mentioned, Requiem is one for me. Resident Evil. Silent Hill F we're going to get to see more of, and I'm a huge Silent Hill fan. I mean, Silent Hill is up there, Resident Evil's down here. Sorry. But the new Silent Hill game is a very combat focused, and that's kind of put me off.
That's interesting.
Yeah, they've gone combat heavy because people love the Souls type games, so they kind of went on that route, and I'm not sure about that. And I also heard today that Euro Truck Simulator 2 and American Truck Simulator might be coming to consoles, as there's a store page now on the PlayStation Store where you can actually wishlist it now, so that might get announced. Cool. So I may look at that, because that was something my dad always used to play, and I didn't really, because, it wasn't a console thing.
Do you only console game? You don't use PC?
I have my PC for... I did play Flight Simulator and everything. I mean, I even got a flight stick.
The thing that's causing Uno to break all the time.
Yeah, that's the one. But it's plugged in now, so hopefully it doesn't break the stream. But yeah, I've got that for Flight Simulator. I have my wheel and everything, so I can play Forza or that new old game that I just picked up in the sale for like £2. But and Elite Dangerous. I try and play that on PC as well. And whenever I have Game Pass, I'll play whatever there as well, which I sometimes get free for a month thanks to Discord, and it's nice nitro deals. And of course, I play Uno as well. I have to play Uno on PC to play with you on stream, don't I?
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's it.
I'm gonna probably download it on my brand new PlayStation so that I can play with some of because the majority of Uno players are on PlayStation. So I feel like I'm missing out on like playing with some of our community from that. So I might get that set up.
And you've had that for 3 weeks now?
Yeah, just over, because we got it like less than a week before I left. Honestly, I loved, so basically just for context, I live in Canada, but I went home to visit for 3 weeks. But prior to going home to visit, I had 2 months of just stress of like moving house three times, just like constantly living out of suitcase, and then like packing all myself into a suitcase, living 3 weeks, which I loved going home. It was lovely, but it was also stressful because I was spending so much time like seeing people. I've got a watch which measures like my sleep and my body battery, which I think is good. I think it's like I quite like seeing, like statistics of my life. However, when it's like constantly really low, it stresses me out. Like my stress level's like high and my sleep level's low, and I feel like I shouldn't. It almost makes me feel like I'm gonna act more tired if I think I'm gonna be more tired. But anyway, those 3 weeks, crazy. And I was like, I cannot wait to be sat on my sofa in Canada with Rory playing PlayStation. And it happened yesterday. We were like, we did it. We're here.
Nice.
In this place. We just need to unpack. And now we're properly unpacked. Don't have to pack again for months. Oh, so it's such a good feeling.
No more boxes. Must be great.
No, still got a few to unpack, but we haven't got the storage to unpack them into yet. So they're just going to stay in boxes for a few more weeks.
Yeah, I've just noticed you actually got a corner behind you, which is new.
I do. Yeah, I need to. This needs to be decorated. I don't know how, but it will be decorated for my streams.
Plants and porn lighting and fake fish tanks behind me.
Exactly. Is that a screen?
That's my TV.
TV, okay, yeah, smart.
It's a 55-inch fish tank, but If an advert pops up, it's YouTube. It'll break the illusion, so hopefully not. I've just spoiled
Oh,
it.
really? Did that happen?
Yeah, it happened just before I went live. I'm like, oh no, it's fine. So, should we talk about the main talking point that started now with the UK Online Safety Act, which it started really. It got signed 3 years ago, 2022, but it never came into force from Ofcom until 3 weeks ago, end of July. And it all started off basically stopping kids from being able to access pornography, that sort of thing. Then it kind of branched out where they tacked on things like online grooming. Then it went into bullying and everything associated with that, and cheating and stuff, and gambling and everything as well, to stop kids from being able to access these things, be able to browse and play their games securely without any effects like that. So, all good intentions. I think we could all agree on that, because we want to keep our children safe and grow up to be nice, responsible, good people. But poorly executed, perhaps, maybe? Are they overreaching?
Why do you think poorly executed?
I think the way it's possibly not being advertised the way it should be, or if it's people understand. For one example that I've came across, it's not related to games, but I was listening to music on Spotify, and then I came across one song in that playlist that had a couple of swear words in it, and it had to block it for me. And I had to register my face or scan my passport or everything like that. And if I didn't, I would lose my Spotify account.
Oh, I didn't know it spread to other platforms.
Yeah, it's spread to Spotify. I mean, Discord, big gaming platform. They've been experimenting with this for the past 6 months, I think. Now, I've already registered my facial ID and everything there, so I'm already secure. But they are going to go full in with it on Discord soon. And can't remember if Gilded is Gilded still a thing. That's the platform similar to Discord. It is owned by the people that do Roblox.
I don't think I've used that one.
Yeah.
Well, that's interesting. Wait, have you said that they're doing it, or you're not sure?
They are doing it. I just don't know if it's being made forcible right now on Discord. I'd have to double check on that bit. I did get the pop-up notification a couple of months ago before the whole thing came into place. So I've done it.
Because Roblox just got sued for child safety, didn't they?
Yeah, they've been a real issue for grooming for quite some time. Yeah, yeah, because I did have a Gilded account at one point, and then it required you to have a Roblox account to then access Gilded, and I was like, I don't want anything to do with Roblox, so deleted my Gilded account. But that's where I think. I mean, yeah, go ahead.
Well, I think that I think that having that kind of monitoring, obviously I don't love the idea of having all my information held by, like, I probably wouldn't post my passport if I were to upload a photo. Can you use like your driver's license?
Yeah, anything that's official on that ID, or they can do a facial recognition thing where AI will actually detect and determine whether you are over 18 or not.
Okay, but I'd probably be more likely to do that, because rather than, I don't like the idea of a company having all of that information that they could accidentally leak or get hacked or whatever. But that does sound really good, of just being able to tell, okay, this person's online persona is a 14-year-old girl, but actually it's a 50-year-old man. Like, having that pop up seems very good. And if it works.
What's your thoughts, Karina?
I have many different ones. I think I saw actually some kids bypassing the facial recognition by using photographs and photos of people that look older. So it's not a full safe way to stop, but it does mean that they have to go through extra lengths to fake their accounts, I guess, to be younger or to be older than they are. I work for a client that has a game that's very family and children focused, which is really lovely because the kind of communications we get from them is usually like drawings from the kids and stuff like, we love your game, but it's usually the parents that are mediating that. They're sort of on Facebook. It's the only game that I have an active Facebook community because of the parents. But on our Discord, because we have an official Discord as well, I do think a lot of the people in that Discord are not old enough to have a Discord account, but they would have made one. And sometimes the humor or the conversations in the Discord, obviously we do our best to keep it clean and moderated, but at times there are things in there that they get exposed to that they shouldn't have, because it's more adult humor or it's more like teenager, young adult type of humor. And I think it would have an effect on them. So I think it's good to keep everyone safe, but I agree with Flo with having my personal information stored. I think everyone's personal information is being hoarded already and used in who knows how many ways. My phone knows me far too well, and it's suggesting things, and it scares me sometimes how I haven't even said anything, and it's like, hey, we think you'd like this, and I was like, I don't enjoy this. So yeah, I think it's good. I've also heard the flip side from grown-ups as well, who don't want to register an account to watch pornography. They don't want to be having an account. One of the things that they've said about pornography is that it's anonymous. You can have a guest account and you can just watch it. But also that means anyone can just access it whenever they want. And I do think it's been quite, especially since when I was growing up, I didn't have any access to that. I didn't even know what it was. But now kids, I think, are getting exposed to it a lot earlier and a lot younger, which really is, I think, making them think that all of these things are real and this is how you do. And I think it can cause a lot of toxic personalities in the community, not knowing how it actually works. Not to go into too many details, but it's not an educational platform at all. So there's so many thoughts I have about it.
Yeah, one of the things that the people have tried to address it is this sharing of information and them storing it. This stuff is, once your photo or whatever it is, your face is scanned, it's supposed to be verified and then removed immediately. But we had an instance last year. I think Martin brought it up in the office last week about how LinkedIn had their database hacked and it had everybody's information still stored, which should have been deleted immediately. And so it's hard. We're in a bit of a day and age where we find it hard to trust these companies, and you don't want to make it political, but also political parties as well. What intentions they might have in it, because they might want to get their cause on it as well. And you have to think, if you have one of these companies that is verifying your age and everything, it's not just one. You could have 50 different companies for 50 different developers or games that are being made, and that's 50 times the potential for your data to be hacked. It makes it easier for you to lose that data and end up on the dark web or something like that. So it's very understandable to not be able to trust this thing.
There's also a movement towards people not wanting to have any photos or anything online, because you can use deep fake or whatever to make people use people's face to make them say anything or do anything. So I wouldn't be surprised if a lot of people that even consider a photo, a company having a photo being almost worse than just your name.
And something else that I've thought about it is, it used to be brought up years ago. It used to be compared to films, and people used to talk about age certification with films. And I know parents didn't realize that video games had age verification as well, and they just assumed that our kids can go play Grand Theft Auto or Call of Duty or anything like that. But back then, it was the onus of the parents and the retailers to stop their children from being able to access these things. But this Online Safety Act now puts that onus on the actual game developer and publisher now. Because they have to, I think it's called KYCs, like know your customer or client. So they have to implement these structures in their game so they can find out ways that they'll know who's playing their game and what content they can have access to. Which is why, even though it's a UK Online Safety Act, it affects the wider world because these games can't just be localized to one country.
That's something we'll have to look into for Orca 2 then.
Yeah. Yeah, because is that an 18 rating game?
Either 17 or 18. It's weird because I think the card game is 17. The different physical versus virtual games have different ratings, like as in the boundaries of them are different. So I'm not sure. It's either 17 or 18. Mature.
Yeah, which I guess this also means it's going to be harder for small studios, independent companies, because it's going to add a further production cost into things as well.
Yeah, very true.
So this is where I go into the whole thing where has it been executed well? It's just one of the other things to tack on.
I mean, it's brand new, right? So
yeah,
even if it's not quite right now, they might figure it out soon, and then be better.
Yeah, it needs work. They need to be talking to the right people. They don't need to be talking to lawyers and stuff. They need to be talking to the actual developers and parents and everything to get this implemented properly to keep the children safe. Because it's right now, gaming with everyone feels safe behind their anonymity, and they're playing online, and they can be toxic as anything, and they can say anything to another player in the heat of the moment, and they don't know how that much affects them. So we need to be able to protect people from being able to not get that sort of thing. It's just
I'm seeing more and more moderation though. With I don't play that many games, and I think the only game that I play online is Online Catan. Woohoo! She's super cool. She's a gamer girl. And that now, I mean, it's kind of like a newish game, as in they're pushing lots of new updates at the moment. And now after every game, it says, "How was the chat?" And you say whether it was good or bad. And then I think if bad, then they're very actively monitoring all of the chats between players, as they should, because also people are mean.
People are really mean.
I'm just here to have fun, and they're so mean to me.
I've been on the other end of moderation, and when I was working at Ubisoft, we had a team that was getting the complaints of ban appeals and bans and stuff. And I think this was Siege, because I think we can all imagine people being quite mean in Rainbow Six Siege. And I remember it was one of my colleagues, and he was just like, "Oh my God, this person's why have I been banned? I didn't do anything bad." And it was your chat logs say very differently. You were incredibly bigoted, racist, mean. This is just it's a permanent ban. We're not lifting this. We have a zero tolerance on being like that online. And I was like, it's just interesting how people oh, well, I didn't do anything. They just claim their innocence, but it's no, I think people can see more than you realize. It's when you go into, not specifically gaming, but if you are using a customer support, because I worked in customer support for many, many years. If you're using one of those instant chat when you're contacting customer support and you're "Hey, I'm having a trouble with this," and blah, blah, blah. And if you're getting very heated and you start typing, they can see what you're typing before you've sent it, and then it'll be removed. So if you're "Oh, you are boop, boop, boop," and then you remove it, they would still see it. So they have a sense of, okay, this person's could escalate or they could not escalate. But they would always act on what is being sent rather than what was temporarily in the chat. But yeah, there are ways that people don't think about how you're being seen, how your interactions online digitally are being not necessarily recorded all the time, but how they're being presented. Like you type in the chat, you think no one can see that, but on the contrary.
I mean, this was a discussion years ago when it's been a thing for years, but like online trolls replying to tweets and things, and because they didn't because it wasn't linked to, people felt like there was no consequence because it wasn't linked to actually their real lives.
Yeah.
And then lots of people saying like we need to link people's ID to their profile so that there can be some consequences. However, the issue with that though is that lots of places, like particularly like even the US at the moment with all the protests, if someone's supporting something, then it's linked to their identity, and they might or might not be able to get into the country at this point. So it's a good idea in theory, but in practice it has a lot of issues.
Yeah, it can get very convoluted and intense and abused as well, I think, on both ends.
Yeah.
You raise a good point there about there has to be a consequence for someone's actions. But on the flip side of that, should there also be some sort of reward for being good?
Yeah, social media, there could be some platforms like
some positive reinforcement.
Yeah, that's a good idea.
I think there's certain positive reinforcement you can have in certain areas where it's like you can get a recognition by being the top contributor, or you're an ambassador, or for example for me, like working on some of the games, we'll see people are very active and moderating without having the official moderation role, for example, and we reached out to two of them and we're like, hey, we see you're an active ambassador in the community and you're doing great things and you're stopping and de-escalating things. Would you be interested in getting a moderator, role and helping us out and getting that recognition? I think it helped other people in that server as well. Just kind of go, oh, good behavior gets rewarded.
Yeah. I mean, that's sort of how things worked with me when I became like a PlayStation MVP or seen as like a community ambassador. It's just over the years seeing the good behavior, doing all the community events, helping out people and all that, they recognize that. And that was the reward. It's like, do you want to represent our brand, our community, and kind of pass on that positive reinforcement to everyone else? So I think that's a good way of dealing with it. But then going back to the sort of punishments for these sort of things, there has to be something in place with this. I guess this is where this UK and Online Safety Act comes in. It will be a permanent thing. You can't just bypass it. You can't just go create another account because you are attached with your face and everything to this. So it's basically like an IP ban, effectively.
I feel a bit tagged, like marked.
Yeah.
Got a chip now.
Yeah, we're basically all like, what's his name? Hitman agent, with the barcode.
We all got a barcode.
Yeah. So,
but then I think there's a time. Like it's even so. I was going to a festival. I was at a festival a couple of weeks ago, and the in and out of like the security is all very manual. It's like they pat down. I think they sometimes use like a little like metal detector. But I was like, I wouldn't be surprised if in a few years it was almost like airport. Put your thing in. They X-ray it. All this, and I kind of was like, good. As much as I think surveillance isn't a good thing after, it obviously depends on what kind of surveillance it is, but generally government surveillance I think isn't great, kind of like Big Brother in 1984, but for some people's safety, maybe it is one, and it is, we are moving into a new era where there's new crimes, there needs to be new laws that go with AI, like all of it is completely untouched at the moment because no one really knows what's going on and it's all evolving so quickly. So maybe have it, as much as it's scary to have these what seems like surveillance and lots of moderating, it could just be good in the long run if it's helping protect people and it's an area that currently doesn't have a lot of protection.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think there's anybody out there that doesn't think it has good intentions and it is a good thing. It's just it needs some tweaking. Make everyone happy. Hmm. I mean, I respect everyone that wants to hold on to their privacy and everything. Me personally, I don't really care anymore. I'm sure governments or whatever industries, publishers, companies out there know everything about me already, so I have no problem just giving my information on. Yeah, but I can understand
Yeah,
those
I've
that
got
don't want to do that.
like most of my social, like my job is very vocal and literally broadcasting every week, my voice and my face. So I'm kind of like, I completely get how some people would completely avoid and not even have social media. And I think then that does sound like a nice life, just not the life that I've chosen. But it does mean like I've got some things, I've got code words with my family so that, you know, how there are hours and hours and hours of audio of my voice online. So in theory, a scammer could like take my voice and then call my family and ask for money. So with all of my family, including my grandparents, we have a code word so that if I call up, code word, obviously hopefully they wouldn't know it. So, you know, there's little things you can put in place to help protect you already.
So it must be sort of comforting for you at the moment that stickers text to speech thing doesn't sound like anything like you at the moment.
Yeah. But
Yeah.
I think I don't think that was a very good good version. I think there probably are better ones online that would already be able to do it pretty well.
Yeah. They'll get there.
Yeah.
So any closing comments on this topic?
Let's see how it goes.
Yeah.
I think it just needs to be done properly. Not like there's that meme video of this security guard. They're going through the checks and he just puts his hands like that and doesn't even touch them. So it needs to be done properly, and I think those in charge, Ofcom, governments and everything, publishers and all that, just need to gain the trust back in the actual consumer as well. Make everyone happy. But yeah, it's a good thing. It just needs some work. Right. We're going to move on to a little bit of dev talk, where we talk about the behind the scenes shenanigans of what goes on. All good things. We're not going to talk about too much drama. But this week we're going to focus on the ins and outs of remote working and how it differentiates between you, because you two have completely different approaches to how you approach remote working. So, Karina, start off with you. Tell us your setup.
Well, I started out working from home after I left contract working. So now I'm a freelancer. I've been doing that for over a year now in the gaming industry, because I've been in the gaming industry for more or less 7 years now, 7-8 years. And I'd been working from home for a while. And as I started doing freelance, I realized I wanted to separate where I live and where I work. So I'm someone who really needs to have those separate spaces, because if it starts blurring too much, I'm not very productive at all. And it also means that I can't keep track of my hours that I am contracted for with my clients very well, because I can just sit there until like 8, 9, 10 at home and forget that I'm doing work still. So now, for the last 3 months, I believe, 3 or 4 months, I have rented my own office space. So I am currently sat in my own personal locked office. I can go in and out. I'm not locked in, by the way. That sounded like I was like, I'm locked in the bunker. But I have my own access, and I get internet, and I get cleaning, and I could set up everything. It's got furniture and stuff. And yeah, I enjoy that 15-20 minute walk maybe from my flat to Regis, and it's in like a business park, and it's a nice little park kind of area that I go through. So it's a very nice start to my day, which means I leave my home. It's a routine. I go out into nature, and then I get into the office. My office brain is on. So that's been something that's really, really worked well for me. And I appreciate that some people don't understand that, because some people have told me, why would you waste money on an office? You could just work from home. But for me, the mental health implications of working from home, it's not good for me. I need that separate space. Plus, it's actually a big office complex. So there's loads of people in the common area that I meet and chat to and have coffee, and I'll meet as I go and grab lunch and stuff. So it's a good big network of people here. And that's made all the difference for me when I'm working.
Yeah, I think from a conventional job, you go away and you do your 8 hours, 9 to 5 job, and then you come home and you leave work behind and you just enjoy, relax, no stress or anything. So being able to have your own office makes sense. It's quite the change, but I think it really is good to look after your health like that. Whereas
it really is.
So Flo, you have a different approach.
Yeah, and I need that. I need that approach. So I originally was working from the Brighton office, and I had a half-hour walk to work that was all along the seafront. I crossed one road. I was on the seafront, 30 minutes across one road. I was at the office. So it meant I got an hour of walking every day, and it was nice most of the time because it was in the sun. We do hybrid from the, it's up to you of what you want to do from the SFC office. We've got some people that work there full time, but most of the people do hybrid. There are a few days that the people work from home, which worked really well for me, especially filming TikToks or just doing work that was quite noisy. That was always good for me to have those days at home. And also just because it's sometimes quite nice to do days at home. You can have a wash on while you're working. But then I moved to Canada. So couldn't work from the Brighton office anymore. It was in Whistler. So I started off in Whistler, which is like a little mountain resort that is full of nomad people. So I had a group of friends who were also either freelancers or like travel influencers, and just had their own companies. Actually, some of them did. So we would just work from the library together. So that was quite good. Like I'd get out of the house, go and work in the library, and then a few days I'd work from home because I do streaming, which I can't do from the library. But now I've moved to Toronto, which I, again, I'm not working from an office. However, I do have my own office room here. So my partner and I both, we opted for an extra room in our flat so that we could both have an office. So his desk is there, my desk is here. And that does feel separated. I mean, I've only been here for like a week. I've only worked here for a week, but it is really nice having a separate room. And then I forced myself out of the house because also I've got a gym in the building. So in theory, I could never leave this building, which is awful for me. So I do force myself out. I'd look to see for like WeWork rooms where you can work remotely or not work from a like rented space, but they were so expensive, so I didn't. But I definitely am someone that needs to have like social interaction, and it's tough doing it, especially because I run the social media for Snap Finger Click. That's always harder to do when I'm not in the office, and like I keep saying to people, like, if you see something that you think looks good, please can you take photos?
That's it. That's one of the things when like you're running social media is like if you are on your own, like just having someone to bounce those ideas off of, or just think about something, or someone's like, hey, wouldn't this be good? Or just like turning around or like having a chat with somebody. It just really is good for the creativity, I think.
Yeah, for sure. But I don't know. I'm all right at the moment, but I might have to make a change at some point. But I do like I said, this room does make me work well. Like previously I was working from, like I had my own desk, but it was just a bit messy and I was sharing it with Rory. Now I've got my own one. It's just for me. So that seems better.
Nice.
And me, I have the very limited remote working experience, I guess, because all my jobs, actually, when I did the stuff for PlayStation, then that could technically be considered remote working because everything I was doing was at home. But one way that I get around the whole aspect of separating work life from home life is these lights. Because it also is a mood thing as well. Is if I want to change the environment, so if all I do is let's just change the color and it makes it feel like a different environment, and then it kind of resets my mind. So like I'm not in work mode anymore. I'm in home time. So yeah, I'll change these lights whenever I need just to change that mood or pick them up a bit. That's my thing. But I was thinking before there, the building that you're in, is that the one that had the cinema in it, or is that the other one?
No, that was the one that we were gonna move into, and then the landlord ghosted us.
Oh yeah, because I was thinking then you wouldn't really ever need to leave the building at all, would you?
Because actually that building is involved in the Toronto has all these like underground networks because it gets really cold in the winter, and so from a lot of big buildings you can make your way to some shops or even to the subway, so then other parts of the city without actually going outdoors at all. And so that building was involved with that, but this one isn't. But this one's like 5 minutes away from the underground bit anyway. Because also, I don't know, I feel like I'd feel weird about that. Just never going outside, never breathing fresh air.
Isn't it just really mad though? Sorry to just...
Oh, go for it.
It's... You can technically, in this day and age, never leave your home if you don't want to.
Mm.
Everything's online. Your shopping can be delivered to your door. Your alcohol can be delivered to your door. Everything can be done from home. Your work can be done from home. So long as you not have, kids or children or anything that you need to leave the house for, then you could technically just never leave because you have so much like streaming, like now cinema, like the movies, they get put out and then suddenly they're like on the streaming platform like very shortly after, or you could just torrent it or download it. Like it's very scary because it's very enabling for people who have, like myself, a bit of social anxiety and like I just feeling down and don't want to see people. I can really not see people and still be okay. Well, I say okay. I can get food in,
Yeah, and I mean, we all trialed it over COVID. We were forced to do that, and you could tell that you could actually do it. So it's a weird one, and that's why there's like the whole male loneliness epidemic. It is just really easy to not leave your house and not do anything.
Yeah,
that is something to talk about within COVID. It kind of pushed the whole kind of remote working thing, didn't it? And Flo, you basically started Snapfinger Click during COVID.
Yeah, I had a week before everything kicked in. Yeah,
saw you in the office and then you were gone, and streaming from your room with these gnomes behind you, freaking people out.
Exactly. I almost brought one back with me, but I didn't have room. I didn't have room in my suitcase. But apparently, I've like a lot of my friends at work from offices in London. They say that it went from fully remote to slowly, like 1 to 2 days in the office. Now they're saying that those companies are like really pushing almost every day in the office, like maybe 1 day at home. It's kind of a big, even recently, there's been like a bigger push to get everyone more in the office, which is surprising. I mean, I get it if you're paying rent and you want your buildings to be full, but I saw lots of things saying that people were more productive when it was a more hybrid working environment.
So, thinking you are in Canada for 1 year, and then you go back to UK. Are you looking forward to being back in the office and having that separation?
So much.
Yeah.
Yes. Although I guess I worked in the office for a couple of days when I was back, but everyone's talking the whole time. Like in my head, I'm like, oh, I probably would be more productive working in the office with people, but I don't think that's true. I think that I'd be more productive working by myself because just one person starts talking and I join the conversation. Also, we would do a lot of like playthroughs of new updates and just there's a lot of whole company playthroughs, and you do just end up chatting a lot of the time. So maybe not. Maybe I would be better just working by myself. I think I was also just really excited to see everyone, and so that was why I was chatting a lot. But
you might have to just do some sort of hybrid thing. Actually, when Karina was talking about being just, you don't need to leave your home all the time, it reminded me of that Bruce Willis movie, Surrogates.
Oh yeah.
Haven't seen it. Do I need to add it to my list?
Yeah, add it to your list.
It's pretty good.
Yeah. It's also a bit scary because we're not that far away from that sort of environment.
Yeah. That's a really, I haven't seen that in years. I'm very happy that you mentioned it because that's it's a bit of a mind-boggling eye-opener. Yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, that scares me now. I enjoyed the movie and I never thought about it. And I thought, oh, that's years away. And then I'm looking at it and now you talking about it, I'm like, wow, we're basically kind of doing that now. We're
Yeah.
just one AI bot away from doing that.
And that's only the things that are publicly shown to everyone. You don't know what's going on behind, not to be like some sort of conspiracy, but like behind government doors, there might be more advancement than they're showing just because it's not ready to be shown to the public yet. Obviously, there's probably reasons, but I think there's advancements that have been made that haven't been made, officially known.
So, Karina, would you go back to the regular working?
Like office with people, or like working with a company, so
working
not doing freelance
in
anymore?
The presence, no freelance, no remote working, in the presence of your employer.
I don't think so. I think as soon as I went freelance, something changed in my brain. I think chemically now I just have a new concoction of what drives me and what makes me happy. And I think what I've realized about myself is a huge need for autonomy. And that is very, very, it's joyful. It feels good because it doesn't feel like I'm tied into anything, which means I can drop it whenever I want to and feel like it. Obviously I wouldn't, because my clients would be like, why? There would be notices. I would tell them, but yeah, I just don't think so. I think I used to believe that the 9 to 5 going to an office, working for a company was like, it's easy. You just wake up, you go to work, you do what you need to do and you go home. But it felt a little bit monotone to me after a while. And for me, in a big company or in a big corporation, there's a lot of structures in place. There's HR, there's paperwork, there's red tape. There's a lot of rigid barriers and structures and rules that you have to follow. And there are some of them in freelancing as well, but you are a lot more free to just suggest something wild. Because I work with indie developers and indie publishers. It's a lot much smaller scale. And I'll be like, hey, what if we did this? And they're like, that's a great idea. Make it happen. And I'm like, are you sure? No one needs to sign off on this. And it's like, no. Like, try it, do it. We're open to trying this. And that's created a lot more freedom for me. So I just don't think I would ever go back. Now, I'm not going to say never, because it could change. Maybe I feel like too much freedom is a burden and I just want someone to point me in a direction and tell me what to do. You never know. But yeah, I see myself doing this for a very long time.
Yeah, sure. And something that I really admire that what you're doing is because you've had all those negative experiences and working in that environment, you've actually started looking into, like, I was going to say creating your own mini empire there and hiring other people to help out.
Join me!
Yeah, so you're kind of you're going to be creating this sort of environment that doesn't have all this red tape and everything. It's going to be a healthy thing for other people and helping people. So I think that's a good thing.
And yeah, I enjoy that, and I want to create, like, I have thought about creating like a little group, a little company or something similar for myself. But my one kind of goal is to not do that in a way that expansion with a big business and become what I hated. I don't want to become the villain. What is it, that Batman movie when it's like, you live long enough to see yourself become the villain? I was like, I don't want to do that. I know where that limit is, but yeah, my passion lies in helping people and having the freedom to do so by using my creativity. So yeah, I'm glad I've created that environment for myself, because I wasn't going to get it where I was. And if you're feeling stuck, just take a leap of faith, to quote my favorite movie.
So, sort of to wrap up this topic, I'll ask both of you what advice and recommendations would you give people that want to go into like remote working, freelance, that sort of thing? So, start with Will.
Start with me, did you say?
Yeah.
So, it depends. It depends on what kind of person you are. If you're someone that needs social interaction, then forcing yourself out of the house, either to work from a cafe or work from the library, is always really good. In one of the moments when I was most like not leaving the house and stressed, I was using and I felt like I needed that social interaction. I was using those like co-working streams because they're quite like they motivated me. It's nice working with other people that were also working from home, remote, and they have lots of them have very like cute little task management things, which
I love those.
Yeah, they are. So those, when I'm in the depths of needing social interaction, I like to use those. But yeah, knowing how you work best and then catering as best you can to that. Setting boundaries between work and, because I often feel I do work better in the evening. And like when I was at university, I would always be a night worker rather than a day worker. But when you're working a 9 to 5, you can't, with other people especially, you can't do that. So if I sometimes, like previously, and I'm very strict with myself now, but previously I'll sort of like work in the morning but not be down focusing, and then make up for it in the evening by working later into the night, which then means technically my entire day, rather than doing what I meant to be doing in 8 hours, I'm spreading it over 12 hours and then I don't have an evening. So I'm really strict with myself now of work finishes at 5 and you close your laptop and go somewhere, do something else, which again has been helpful for just my mental health, but also just means that my work is probably even better because it's better focused.
And Karina?
That's such a good question. I don't know if I can pick one thing. I think if you're someone that is unhappy where you are now, if you're in a 9 to 5 corporate job or in a company and you're looking to go freelance or remote working for yourself, set up a plan. Sit down, set up the plan, because that's what I did. It's why are you doing it? What is it that you don't want? Because that's one of the things that I realized made me see what I did want. Make a plan, try and stick to it, make a backup plan, make a worst case scenarios plan, which is what I did. My worst case scenario was, if this doesn't pan out, I'm going to leave England. I'm going to go home to my mum and dad and I'm going to live in the basement, like where they have a full on, like I could live there by myself. And I'm like, okay, worst case scenario, I go home. I'm okay. So, because I think a lot of people start off making this plan or thinking, oh yeah, I'm just going to quit my job and do this thing, but don't think about what if it doesn't pan out, because that's always a risk. But yeah, just make sure that you've thought it all through, and what you're happy with not achieving. If you didn't make it, you tried. Be happy with having tried, I think.
I think that's good advice from both of you there. Yeah. I think that wraps up our little dev talk. So we move on to the last section of our little podcast here, where we talk about mental health and relate it to the gaming industry. This week's topic is going to be about resilience. It's how you deal with certain challenges in the industry. It could be anything from layoffs, colleagues being laid off, you being laid off. It could be your resilience to deal with deadlines. You might have a certain project that you have to do, or a game that's coming out, deadline for that. It could be the technology's changing, like game engines changing all the time. You might have been, your development team might have been working on one engine, then you've switched to another, or you've changed platforms for whatever social media you do, or like when TikTok came along, you have to have resilience for that and how to work it. So, Karina, how have you dealt with that? How have you dealt with resilience in the industry?
I think I was conditioned quite early on in the industry, being in customer support, because that creates very sturdy people or it breaks people. It created a very hard, thick skin for me, which I think also built my resilience. But for me, I always try to think about any situation, if someone's piling a lot of work on you or being stressed, that's one of the things that usually get me is like tight deadlines and a lot of work and very sort of like, we need to get this done now. Nothing is ever that urgent. I don't work. I think one of my favorite quotes that I see, and I think my mentor said a couple of times as well, is that it's PR, not ER. You're not saving lives. Like, no one will die if this particular tweet does not go out at 5 p.m. exactly. It's like just understanding that and don't getting swept away with the currents because stress is coming from above. There's a person sitting at the top, just like, this is very important, but it kind of creates this chain of like stress and, oh my God, this is the most important thing right now. And knowing your capacity as a human being, you can't smash out a trailer in 2 minutes if you haven't had any chance to, get started on it. So I think just make sure to take a step back, a few deep breaths, look at the bigger picture, and is anyone going to die if you don't do it right that second? No. There might be some people being annoyed, but you just got to tell them the situation and be like, it's humanly impossible for me to put this out within the time frame you're giving me.
And Flo, any instances of things that's happened in the workplace where you've had to build up that resilience and deal with challenges, or what would be your advice on how to deal with it?
I think that, I've been quite fortunate because this has been my only job in the industry. I graduated and then immediately was working for Snap Finger Click and have been there for like 5.5 years. So I have fortunately not had to, I've heard of all the terrible industry standards that sometimes exist in these other studios, but luckily I haven't experienced that myself. I think because Snap Finger Click was formed from people that experienced that at previous studios and then banded together to make a more healthy one. And it is definitely a really help. From what I've heard from other studios, it's definitely super healthy. We've won the like best place to work awards like multiple times, and it is we don't do like crunchy or anything like that. It's a very positive and healthy work environment. But I will say that I think that the gaming industry, as much as there's obviously the same as lots of industries, like bad apples and issues, especially as you go higher up into like the bigger companies. But the gaming industry, especially for people working in it, it's like got such a lovely community. I've worked in like radio is like my other job community. I don't have one. I don't have a community with that. Like radio is very isolated because you kind of do your show, but there's not so much. I'm not on any Discord servers to do with radio, but I'm in hundreds of Discord servers to do with gaming. And part of that will be because gaming is online and gaming is like sharing and virtual. And also I think that lots of people in the gaming industry are tech savvy. So we do have all of these platforms, but I think that it's really nice. And it means that you've loads of places to vent where there's other people that know what you're going through. Also same with even like Blue Sky is like the new Twitter, the new X. It's just from what I've seen, it's a lot more like gaming stuff than I haven't found many people that are radio presenters on there. So I just think despite the negative aspects of the industry, the fact that everyone bands together in these online communities, I think is really valuable. There's also lots of like mentorship programs that I've been a part of or helped out with. Again, there's probably those as well in the other industries, but it just does seem like gaming has got some good places you can go to help and find support.
Yeah, definitely. I think it is one of the best communities. We've had over 20,000 job losses this year already in the industry alone. And immediately you always see people on social media saying, like, putting the list together, what jobs are out there available, let's try and help support you, get you back into the industry and help you out. I've not seen that in any other industry. Maybe just go on.
Well, I love gaming industries as well, like gaming studios, because it's so full of different people. Like in Snapping a Click, I think we have about 15 maybe full-time staff, and not one person could do the other person's job. Like I could do the artist's job, the artist can do the coding job, the coders couldn't do the producing jobs. Like everyone is so different and has such different skill sets. And that's how communities thrive, when you have loads of people with different backgrounds and different skill sets all mingling together. I think that's because maybe that's why radio, everyone's the same and everyone's very loud and confident and pushy. And that's probably why we don't have these like a closer knit community through it.
Mm-hmm.
So I think I'm going along with those subject line. I think it's important that if you are struggling, if you've been recently made redundant, if you feel you're not up to the standard while you're trying to learn some new tool at a workplace, or you're trying to meet a deadline and it's getting the pressure on, it's like, take a step back. There's always someone out there, like I'm sure one of us has had to reach out to someone, or vice versa, and there's always someone in the community. There's lots of helplines and everything out there. It's like, I'm part of the Safe in Our World community, and they do lots of great things on mental health. And if you go to their website, they have all the phone numbers and everything for your whatever country you're in. There's always somebody out there that you can talk to, not necessarily someone in the industry, because sometimes it's good to have an outside perspective as well. But I think it's I think it's good to know that there's other people out there that are in the same situation as you and can help out. So it's not the end. It's nobody's going to die from it, are they? If you go and do something or you miss a deadline, I think it might cost an investor a bit of money, but who cares about them, do we? Yeah. Yeah. Any closing words on resilience?
No.
We're all getting a little bit tired and words are escaping us and we're thinking about sleep. Yeah. Well, I think that wraps up the latest, maybe the last, maybe there'll be another one of the Rendezvous Hour Podcast. I nearly forgot the name of my own podcast. Thanks, Flo and Karina. If you want to shout out your socials or whatever you're doing or anything, then go ahead, Flo.
Snapping a Click. We're an indie game studio. We specialize in multiplayer party games. Like I said, we're currently working, like our project that everyone knows about is Uno, working with Ubisoft, and we've got lots of fun updates coming up with that. We're listening very carefully to what players want and hopefully delivering that. And then, like I said, we've got a really exciting announcement. Probably next. I think it has to be next week. I'm pretty sure there's a date in my head that I'm sure it has to be by. So that's super exciting, and everyone's gonna have their minds blown because it's huge. And then me, I'm Flo, and I work for Snapping a Click, but I also do my own interview series, which I haven't done for a while because it started off on chairlifts, and I don't live anywhere near a chairlift anymore. But Flo Birchall, follow me on everything. There we go.
And I'm also going to act stupid and pretend that I don't moderate it, but do you happen to stream it all?
Yeah, we stream. Snapping a Click also has two Twitch streams on Wednesdays and Thursdays. What time is it? 7 till 11 UK time? Yeah.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, 2 till 6.
I
ET,
hope so, yeah.
Eastern,
I mean, yeah. Okay.
So yeah, follow us on there. We play multiplayer party games. It's fun, it's silly, and Ren's a good mod. Ren's the best mod.
She lies.
Don't say that.
Actually, there might be people from SFC actually watching. Actually, there is. Yeah. Karina?
Ren's good.
Yeah. Good,
yeah.
okay, not
what should I shout out? Well, myself, I'm a freelancer, a community manager. I work with quite a few gaming clients. Shout out to Rubber Band Games, who are releasing their space update in September. If you haven't played Wobbly Life, it's an absolutely fantastic physics game, and it's the biggest update to date. So that's really exciting, Wobbly Life. I'm also working with Fireshine Games, Tales of Seikyu. If you haven't checked that out, that's a really fun fantasy life sim, sort of set in the Japanese kind of theme with like yokai and stuff. And it's like dateable NPCs, romance, adventure, which is really fun. We're actually going to be doing a stream at the end of the month with myself and the other community manager, Bridie, which should be quite exciting. And then for myself, on Twitter or X, I'm at @uLucypus, which is an old handle of mine from when I used to work on the Division 2 at Ubisoft, which Ren will remember.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, I think that's it. And obviously my streaming, if you want to follow me, I've tried to stream either pixel games, turn-based games, or some cozy ones. The latest one I've been playing is Tiny Bookshop because I'm a bit of a bookworm. So, yeah.
Yeah, I enjoyed that stream the other day. And I just want to quickly touch on Wobbly Life. It's a great game to play with your friends, and it's great for your friends making TikToks where they can just physically abuse you in the game and throw you about and blow you up and yeet you across the maps and everything. It's great.
It's a really, really chaotic game. It's what I really like. Wobbly Life.
Yeah. I know this from experience because I was the experiment. I was the
it's a really good multiplayer game, even for like grown-ups, because there's so much wacky stuff that you can do in it, and it's just one of those like Friday nights, the week's been like quite stressful, you just go into Wobbly Life and you just chuck your friends about or get blown across the map and stuff. It's very family friendly as well.
I remember my introduction was basically you were driving, I couldn't figure out how to open the door, so it was basically me just hold onto the car handle and you just drive.
Yeah, which means you can get blasted by lampposts and all the signs that I keep driving in, because it's a bit of GTA driving when I drive a car in Wobbly Life. So, yeah.
It's good fun. We'll have to boot it up again sometime.
Absolutely. That'd be awesome.
But yeah, I think we have Borderlands coming up soon, so we're going to have some fun on that. Yeah.
Yes, I'm well excited for Borderlands. It's, going to be mad.
Yeah, maybe I'll play something with Flo because it's been 3 weeks and my friend request inbox is still empty. Just saying.
For which game?
Any game. I mean, you've not sent me a friend request. It's fine.
Oh yeah,
putting you out there
for PlayStation.
Haven't streamed in weeks.
You were away on holiday, to be fair.
Yeah, in my defense.
Yeah, it's all good.
In fact, this Wednesday, day after tomorrow, first stream in about 3 weeks. So
wow.
Also, team.
Oh, and we got the party stream. Got the party stream at some point. I need to figure that out.
Yeah, I mean, if
maybe
you
on
need help
Friday.
with that, let me know. Yeah, I have ideas.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
Not all of them good. Anyway, let's wrap this up. Thank you. Hello, welcome to the Rendezvous Podcast. Sorry, I rewind too far. Gonna say thank you to the viewers for watching. A little bit of chat there. Hello, OTV, and thank you, Karina and Flo, for hanging out and hosting. Enjoy the great games.
Hosting.
Oh, I just kind of sat back and let you do most of the work. I'm terrible. Yeah, Gamescom this week. I hope you enjoy the games there, and if there is games that you don't enjoy, then let the people who do enjoy them. So thanks everyone. Have a good evening, good day. Enjoy the rest of your summer, or maybe it's winter where you are. Let's catch you next time. Bye for now.
Bye.